Good evening, everyone.
Hey, there we go. Now,
All right, that's right in our way. Is that going to be better this way today?
I think it'll be just fine.
All right. And wait, what am I doing?
I don't know. I would have rather had it over here, but if we do it, you can't see the chat. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on.
Why don't you just put up our OBS?
I'm working on it. I got to figure out what I got to do.
There you go.
Y'all just bear with us. We do this every week and we can't remember what we're doing, and it's still right in the chat.
You're gonna mess up everything.
So, all right. Can you still see us? Sit closer.
No.
All right. It's got to go that way a little. Can you see the chat now?
I guess.
A little better. I can see it.
Yeah, you can see it. No, I can see it.
All right. It's better than having our camera right in front of our chat, because we did that last week and didn't think it through too well. And we've got this big TV so that we can see the chat and we don't have to scrunchie our eyes anymore.
Well,
Is
Wendy,
scrunchie a word?
I'd probably not, but let's. In the South, that's one thing about the Deep South. We just make our own words up.
Scrunchie.
Yeah, we make our own words up. We know what they mean. Nobody else does.
That means tighten your eyes.
Tighten your eyes up.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see here. 70 degrees this afternoon in Montana. Well, I just walked in the door just a couple of minutes ago. It was still 82 degrees at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Actually, it was 6:50.
It got up to 87 or 89 today.
89.
It was
89.
crazy hot. Terry planted 6 beautiful pineapple plants last week. Today they are all turning yellow. What's wrong?
Well,
Too much water?
I was going to say probably too much water
Or cold.
or too cold or something. I mean,
That's 2 of them. They don't like a lot of water.
there's Silver Run Coffee Crafters.
Yes.
Yes. Jumping in here, Ms. Rebecca, Mr. Brad.
We're going to be giving away some funky espresso tonight. So
B.
somebody
Gatlin says, as we age, can we make up our own words? We do. We make up our own words all the time.
It's our prerogative.
And boy, you talk about ticking some of our subscribers off. If we're not politically correct, oh my goodness. When we go, I'm going to go to the hardware store and take a picture of a bag of clover, just because nobody believes here we just say red clover and they know what we mean. We don't have to go in there and say, I want red crimson whatever kind of clover that is. And we just go in there and say, dude, I need some red clover. You got any? And they go, yeah, there's a bag of it right over there, you know?
Yeah, we got a lot of people that want us to be politically correct. And one thing that Deep South and Pecan Grove is we are not.
We are not politically
correct.
No.
If that's one thing we can say, we are not politically correct.
My Bible says to come out from among them and be separate. So I'm taking it literally.
Oh man, I see lots of people jumping in from all over. Central Florida's parched. We were blessed. We got some rain, 2 or 3 times this week? Not a lot.
We got ½ inch one day, ¼ inch one day, and just a good little shower the next day.
Miss Carolyn's husband passed away.
Oh,
Remember
sorry
her?
I heard about that, Miss Carolyn.
Food Forest, Carolyn Food Forest, is that what the name is?
There's 3B Homesteads on here. I watched some of y'all's videos this morning, just out of curiosity. It popped up in my feed, and I sit back and watched y'all's videos.
Tony, I did get the email, but I have not been able to stop him long enough today to get him to look at it. So
I'm sorry, Tony. I am wound up. I'm at this house working. I'm at that house working.
And another house.
And another house working. And I'm in the field working. So I ain't even had time to turn around.
Jeff Jackson says, I don't tolerate political incorrectness. I grade it. Give us an F then.
Give me an F.
So where are we at
Let's
now?
see here. Slow, easy rain here in southeast Kansas.
All right, so the aphids, we have been doing a good bit. Now, we still harvested our English peas. And
Yeah.
we have gotten so far I've got 40 pints, and then I've got a gallon of them in the freezer. So we've harvested a lot of English peas. It's not damaging the peas. Danny got real aggressive this week, and you've sprayed them twice or three times?
I sprayed them 3 times with baking soda.
And it seems to be knocking them down.
It seems to be knocking them down some.
But wait till y'all see how aggressive they got, even though we were trying everything. And we think we've kind of figured out a possible solution of why they started.
Yeah.
Something we've never done before, and we're going to talk about it in a video. I'm not going to give it away here right now.
Yeah, we got.
But
I think we figured out what happened.
Yeah.
And a foreign country is to blame for it. Trump gets to blame everything on a foreign country, so we're going to blame it on a foreign country.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quite possibly, but I do believe we did it ourselves. I mean, by some things we did. Why did we call the police?
It was mugged.
Susie Q says she's finally getting a garden shed this week.
Oh, awesome.
Nancy Plank says, are you getting baby pineapples yet? They've had 6 so far. We don't. In the move, I have a bunch of small ones, and we didn't move all the big ones.
No,
so
the freeze
they had
killed.
Already done their thing.
Yeah.
And the freeze got the big ones because they were just plants. It wasn't going to make another one. They were making some babies, and I took babies off.
Diane Lyons says, Danny and Wanda, is it okay to plant mulberry trees this time of year? If not, when is the next time?
Next.
The best time.
Best time.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I planted one just this past week, and I got one out in the field out here. I found I got to go dig up and pot. So as long as you keep it watered and take care of it. Look, I planted trees in the middle of July.
Jay Robinson said, I can't thank you enough for all the great tips on growing onions. Mine look great and are plentiful enough to bless others with. Thank you ever so much.
Awesome.
That is great.
We have actually been pulling
a few
of ours. I think we probably got about 15 maybe pulled or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Every morning I get up, I go out there and I find them broke over and I just snatch them out of the ground. Donna says, I got one of those deer alarms for my garden that you have. Said it's been working great.
We actually bought some new ones, and we have the one that shoots the gun and the dogs bark. But we bought some, last month, and Danny's only put a couple of them up, and they already got me. It is a siren.
Yeah.
And I forgot he put them by the fruit orchard, and when I drove by, the thing went off, and I like to have jumped through my skin. I said, remind me them things are there.
Big Red says, Danny, what do you think about homesteading in Missouri? Well, just know where you live at in Missouri, because Missouri's got a lot of underground ICBMs up there in the hills. So, find out where you live, find out where they're at. And, a matter of fact, Wanda and I was going to move to Missouri here 3 years ago. Probably about 4 now. About
4 or 5 years
4 or 5 years ago. But the Lord said no. And we try to do what the Lord says. So just check out where the silos are and make sure that you're not near one of them.
All right, Morning Glory said, thank you for the tip about ordering from George's. We ordered sweet potato slips today.
Yeah, somebody sent me a message and said that they told George's that we was the ones that had a YouTube channel that told them, and I'm pretty sure they got swamped with it.
Just ordering a few, like 12, 15, 25 or whatever, you still pay probably about what you do anywhere else.
Yeah, you pay what you do anywhere else.
When you hit 100 or 200, it discounts a little bit, but when you hit 500, you really got a good discount. So we thought, if we have to share with others, give away sweet potatoes, whatever we have to do, we're going to do it, because we could get 500 for $100, where anywhere else we were getting 200.
Yeah.
So it was well worth it for us.
Oh, let's see here. South Alabama Roots. Can you plant green seedless grapes from pots to ground if already blooming, or wait until they are dormant? They're in 15-gallon pots, 2-year-old plants. If you can get them out of the pot without them getting the dirt off of the roots, and you can keep them pretty much intact and you don't really disturb the roots, you can do it. But if if the dirt's going to be falling all off the roots and everything like that, and you got, I wouldn't do it.
All right, so we got a couple here I want to read. Lou, she lives in North Mississippi. She said, Mr. Danny, how are the pine trees looking around y'all? Up here, they're all looking like they are dying.
Well, Lou, there's two reasons for pine trees dying. One is there's a lot of pine beetles going around in certain areas and they're killing the pine trees. And then 5G is killing a lot of the evergreens. So it's usually one of the two.
Do you have a lot of the new towers around, and are they in line of sight from one tower to the other? Because if there's one reason they cut a lot of trees down and put towers one in sight of the other and cut the trees in between, you would notice when trees started dying in between if they hadn't cut them already. So if you do have trees around, is it within line of sight or on the edges of line of sight?
Whatchamacallit Homestead 1, Danny, my potato plants started dying too soon. Dug them up, the taters are full of holes. What's happening? If you live anywhere south of the Mason-Dixon line, it's probably fire ants, because fire ants will eat potatoes. They'll eat holes in potatoes everywhere, and you make your plants die earlier.
Okay, Little Rock Star Girl says, I wanted to share what I did for compost this year. I used the soil from my chicken run. My onions have grown 2 inches in a week.
Awesome. Because see, you know why? Because chicken manure is mostly nitrogen, and onions love nitrogen. So I can totally understand why.
All right, so Bernard Berry says, what variety of sweet potatoes do you like best, Beauregards or Vardaman?
Actually, I will take, there's one of three. I like the Puerto Rican Reds.
Let it jump.
And I like the Vardamans, and I like the Beauregards. Either one of them will do me just fine. It doesn't make any difference which one you are to me, because to me there's not a lot of difference between them as far as taste once they're cured.
Lou said both of your reasons are exactly what I suspected. Yeah.
Okay.
Richard says, my sugar cane is about thigh high. When to fertilize? We are in our hot, dry season now.
Fertilizing now. I'm fertilizing mine now. I'm using 8-24-24 on my fertilizer right now to try to get it up and get it going without giving it too much nitrogen to get it too fast. I want it to be able to build a good root system. So 8-24-24 is what I'm using.
Joey from JT West says, I'm hoping to get some rain to sprout my Jimmy Red replant. So he's having to replant?
No, Joey, did you have to replant, brother? Ours is about...
Oh, it's beautiful.
Ours is about waist high right now. It's already been laid by. It's already up, well, it's probably over my waist.
It's getting close, because the last time I videoed you, it was about to your hip.
Yeah, so it's over my waist today, because I walked through it thinning it out a little bit.
Palmetto Paratrooper says, I didn't know Puerto Ricans came in red.
Yeah, they do. Believe it or not, the Puerto Ricans come in red. They're not all brown colored. Some of them come in red.
Our favorites are the Puerto Rican Reds, the Beauregards, and the Vardamans.
Yeah.
Those are some of the best that we like. How is your sugar cane doing, Danny? The starts that she sent Miss Vicky.
Miss Vicky, one of them, the purple stripes, did not make it. I dug it up and it was just dead. The eyes on it were dead. They didn't even try to sprout. The Louisiana green is got maybe 1 or 2 little sprouts up on it. The other blue ribbon has quite a few coming up on it. And I don't think you sent any more other than those 3, if I remember correctly.
One of them's doing okay, and the other's doing decent, and one died. Miss D. Bunker, the one that brought us the pecans, she said, you are both looking relaxed and rested. I figured we looked strung out.
Yeah, I figured we strung out. I've been
like running.
We've been running all day long. We hoed, get this now, we hoed 2 300-foot rows in the garden this morning. And that about took its toll on us. Plus I had to go back and fertilize the squash. Then I had to turn around and go back and put fish emulsion around the squash, because I don't want squash bugs getting started on them, and the fish emulsion is one of the best things that I have found to combat squash bugs.
Then you sprayed the...
Then I sprayed the English peas
again.
with baking soda again. I mowed the yard. I come to the house here where we're at now, the office. I tore out the hood vent over the stove. I've been working, rebuilding kitchen cabinets, and
put a new sink in.
Put a new sink in yesterday in here. So.
And we worked at Deep South for 2 days putting flooring down, and I don't know. This is Deep South, so I could give them a preview of.
You can give them a little bit of a preview, guys. This is what's going on at Deep South. Now we've replanted. We repainted the whole house. We've had a painter come in and repaint the whole house. I ain't even seen the picture she's going to show you.
Most people have never seen this room anyway because we never showed it, but that is the master bedroom.
That's the master bedroom there.
So it is finished except for putting down
shoe mold.
Shoe mold.
Yeah.
And then we never showed that room anyway. Let me see where I'm at.
Don't ask me. I ain't seen none of the pictures you took.
Okay. And this is a shot of the master bath so that y'all can see the flooring. I can't get it where the chat's not in it, I don't think. Maybe there. It's a dark flooring. All the walls are a beige color with white trim. And we left the oak cabinets. Somebody buys it and they want to change it. What is shoe mold?
Shoe mold is the small trim that you put at the bottom of your baseboard. It's about 1/2 inch thick and 3/4 inch high. It's not quarter round. It's actually shoe mold. A quarter round is 3/4 by 3/4. Shoe mold is 1/2 by 3/4, and you put it around the bottom of your baseboard, on top of your flooring, or on top of your carpet, or whatever.
All right. I heard spraying squash plants with peppermint oil keeps squash bugs away. Have you ever tried that? We've not really used peppermint oil.
I've never used peppermint oil on that. I'm looking at I'm a Prepper.
I was going to stop it for that one.
Yeah. It says, Danny, I got my soil test back. My pH was 7.3. Everything else was moderate range. I know to bring the pH down is to use sulfur. My beds are 2 by 10 and 16 inches deep. How much sulfur should I use? Is it 1 bed, 2 beds? I mean, how many beds is it? In a 2 foot by 10 foot bed, I would probably use a cup of sulfur in that bed, 1 cup, and I wouldn't touch it anymore the rest of the year.
L. McKenzie says that their Malabar spinach grew back from last year. So happy. I'm going to tell you what, you can't kill it.
You won't be able to kill it.
Big Red said, did you build that house yourself?
Yes, I drew the blueprints and built it by myself.
Somebody says that's the same as bullnose.
It's a lot like bullnose, but not quite. Bullnose is 3/4 by 7/8, I think it is. Shoe mold is 1/2 by 3/4.
All right, Janet says, is it okay to plant cucumbers and squash in the same raised bed?
Cucumbers and squash.
Cucumbers don't take over the squash.
I don't think it would be a bad idea, but the cucumbers, like Wanda said, is probably going to try to take the squash over.
And I did get, let me show them what I got here today.
What is that?
My radishes.
Miss Wanda pulled some of her radishes today.
I did grow a few. These were on the Hoss Tool seed tape. And y'all, they did not do very well. Part of it didn't grow at all, and the other part grew a few, but I'm not going to have a lot.
Julie Joyce says, where do you guys find your energy? Well, when I tell you, you're probably not going to like it, but we don't eat grocery store food. We eat our food that we raise, or we know the location from where it comes, where there's no chemicals being used on it. I have told y'all many times over that your wonderful GOBERMENT is removing one ingredient out of all food on the shelves, and that is manganese. And you need manganese to be able to assimilate all your vitamins in your body. I don't care how many vitamins you take, if you don't have that. I don't take vitamins because I don't need to. I don't believe in it. But manganese has been removed from all the foods mostly. And without that, you cannot get energy from your food. Plus, all the food in the grocery stores has had radiation run through it. It's been irradiated, so it has no living enzymes in it. It's just like eating cardboard. You know, I mean,
You'd be better off to go to a.
You'd be better off to go to a farmer's market and then talk to the man, make sure he didn't spray it with some kind of weird chemicals. I don't ever tell people to go to U-Pickets because U-Pickets are loaded with chemicals.
But if you don't
have any other alternative,
go to a U-Picket.
Go to a U-Picket. You mean, and you can put some vinegar, water, mix it together, and try to get as much of the chemicals off as you can. But you know, best is just raise your own. Get the soil samples done. You know, Donna says, "What natural foods have manganese in it?" Let me just give you one little hint. We just planted 700 of them. If that should give you a hint, it is loaded with manganese, and it's the one thing I eat every day of my life.
Okay, please explain about Dr. Earth Golden Bloom and squash bugs.
It is liquid phosphorus. It stinks to high heaven, and squash bugs, I have found, don't like anything that stinks. You can either use the Dr. Earth, you can use fish emulsion. You know, I prefer the Dr. Earth while they're blooming because it's liquid phosphorus, but I do use fish emulsion when I don't have that right at my hands.
Yeah.
Everybody's going sweet potatoes, sweet potatoes, sweet. Yes, sweet
All
potatoes.
right, now one lady up here says, Susan says she's been testing, she's too high in manganese and was told it was either her well water or chemtrails. So that might be why they're taking it out, because they're throwing it at you in chemtrails.
It could be. It could be.
I don't know.
I have heard of it being in water. I have not heard of it being in chemtrails yet. But it would not surprise me one bit in the world.
Okay, now better late than never. And somebody else up there asked, would we do a home tour when we're finished with Deep South Homestead? As soon as we get it ready for the market, we will be doing one last walkthrough.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing that anyway because Danny's daughter will have to do all the pictures and things for the market. So, yeah, we'll do a walkthrough when we get to that point.
Yeah. Now, sweet potatoes are not only high in manganese, they're high in beta carotene. Beta carotene
There were several things. What was the other one I told you I read?
Sweet potatoes is high. As a matter of fact, sweet potatoes is called a superfood. And it's just literally, somebody says, if you didn't grow sweet potatoes, would you buy them from Azure? Yes, we have bought them from Azure when we ran out this past season because we just did not get enough harvested last year to keep us going all year long.
I bought some of the Vardamans and we still didn't have enough.
We bought 5 boxes from Vardaman.
There were 40-pound boxes.
40-pound boxes, and we still went through all them.
Yeah.
And still ran out.
I'm still using on them.
But they're in jars.
Yeah, I'm not out yet.
Yeah.
I still have some left, but Heidi said thanks for the coffee. Yeah, we're going to give another thing of coffee. Several people have said they enjoyed their coffee from Silver Run Coffee Crafters. They are silverruncoffee.com or something like that. They might have posted it because I don't remember exactly. Somebody said if you don't go outside, you don't get anything from the chemtrails. Danny lives outside.
I live outside.
I don't as much.
Wanda don't. I
go in and out.
Whenever the sun gets bright enough for me or the daylight where I can see my hands, I'm out the door. You know.
I did can some of the Azure sweet potatoes too.
Yes.
I still have those. I use those in different things, but I don't make Danny's dessert out of those. Usually I add them when I want something sweet potatoey. I added some of the frozen ones to a meal this week Danny loved.
We also use the powdered sweet potatoes.
Yeah, I do have the sweet potato flour too.
Yeah.
and that came from Azure.
Yes.
But I made I don't know what you'd call it. You can call it whatever you want. It wasn't soup, but it wasn't stir fry.
This Wanda cook stuff, she don't even know what it is. She just looks at me and she says, "Hey,
it tastes good. Eat it."
It tastes really good.
So I took onions and peppers and sauteed them down. Added some of the potatoes that I got from Azure. They're in cubes. They call them hash browns, but they're little tiny cubed potatoes. I added cauliflower. Potatoes, cauliflower.
You cooked it, I don't know.
I'm trying to think. There was
I just eat
veggie.
it.
English peas. We had the fresh English peas. I added the English peas to it. And then I turned around and added some of the little cubed frozen sweet potatoes to it. And then I poured a pint jar of chicken broth over in it, salted, peppered it, let it cook down, and then fixed him some fresh cornbread, and whoo, it was good. It had the best flavor, and he didn't know that it even had sweet potatoes in it.
What's the date of today?
26th, I think.
Today the 26th?
Yeah.
Okay. If you're going to plant sweet potatoes, you got 2 days. Because they need to be planted on the waning of the moon. And in 2 days, you'll go to a new moon. And then it'll be quite a while before below ground crops can be planted again. Is it normal to smell burnt peas while canning sweet peas?
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't smell anything, to be honest with you.
No, you really shouldn't. If your jars
it may be too high
siphon
pressure.
off, if they siphon off,
You're running
it'll
too hot, ain't it?
Yeah, it could either be your canners jiggling too high, or either that you put too much liquid or something in there. If they siphon off, you might smell some of that in your pot, because it would be putting the liquid from your peas over in your pot. It's quite possible, but it would either mean your canner is going at too high a pace, or you got too much, you filled it past the little stop spot on your jar, whatever. I don't know what I'm saying, but that's what I'm
Okay. Ronald Hagan says, are farm stands safe to buy from? Let me tell you about farm stands. Wanda and I, this has been several years ago, before we knew any better, we went out to a place called Charlie's U-Picket, and we were running behind on making salsa, so we just got this bright idea. We were going to run out and we were going to pick up several 5-gallon bucketfuls of tomatoes, several 5-gallon bucketfuls of peppers, and we was going to come back and we was going to make us some salsa, because we had the onions and garlic and everything like that. We got out there, and there was a man in front of us working. He had like 25 5-gallon bucketfuls of tomatoes, some green, some red, some half red, some turning. And I looked at him, I said, man, that's a lot of tomatoes. I said, do you really use that many? Because we only had like maybe 4 buckets of each. And he goes, well, I got a farm stand up in central Mississippi. He said, I come down here and pick these things in the morning and take them up there and sell them. And he said, they think they're coming off of a little farm right there down the road from us there. So you can't always believe what people are telling you. I mean, I don't know who the man was, but he was definitely wasn't doing
He wasn't
right.
growing them.
He wasn't growing them.
Lippy, I know it's on both Deep South and on Crazy Days. It is sweet potato dessert. It's probably what I call it, sweet potato dessert. Is probably what it's going to be listed as. Heidi, I hope you're feeling better tonight. She's on here.
Where? I don't see her.
Heidi,
Oh, there she is up there. Yeah.
Just
Okay. Man, it's just going by so fast. I can't.
Yeah, if you know a good local farmer or farmers, it's good to get in with them, but
Well, CSAs are probably one of the
making
best.
a comeback.
Are making a huge comeback. And they're probably your safest way, because you can go to the farm, you can see what they're doing, you can talk to them personally. I mean, that if it was me and I couldn't grow, that's what I would do.
3B says, is there a way to speed up the sweet potato slips coming up? Putting them in a high tunnel or a high house?
The warmer it is, the better they'll come up. If you can put like a little plastic tin over them or something to warm it up, then they'll grow faster. Sprinkle a little 8-24-24 round on them, or something that's high in potassium and phosphorus, low nitrogen. Sprinkle that around on them, kind of scrape it in the dirt a little bit, or sawdust, or whatever you got them in, and just get it warm. Most people can't get their slips up because it's just not warm enough.
Elizabeth Green says, I'm very thankful y'all are not politically correct. Oh, that's not one of my strong suits.
Well,
Making memories with Benji says, hi from Indian land.
Indian land. That must be Oklahoma? Would that be Oklahoma?
I don't know. They can tell us if they want to.
Let's
My
see.
little new Tennessee home says, I ordered from George's. Danny highlighted in his last video. I have a few I've grown myself. We still have a bunch.
We still got a bunch coming up, but I knew I only had 3 days, or I had 5 days at the time, to get my sweet potatoes in, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to get them all in on the waning of the moon, and that's why we ordered.
I forgot. Somebody's asked about sweet potato.
Oh, yeah.
It says, does your sweet potato work for all zones? Yes,
Yes,
it does.
my sweet potato manual works for all zones, and the thing about it is when you...
How many of you have the sweet potato book? I happened to bring it with me today.
I show things like this right here, showing putting sweet potatoes in the ground to grow your own slips. I mean, it's pictures. Let's see here. If I can get to one of the pages here.
Danny's talking about planting the sweet potato slips in the ground.
In the ground. I don't plant mine in containers or nothing like that. See, I have pictures here showing how you can put your sweet potato slips in the ground. There's several different ways to do it. It just depends on how you want to do it, and the wording is there telling you every little detail about what to do, how to do it. Then it shows step by step what they should look like once you get them going, and then the blooming of them, stuff like that. I mean, it's all in the manual.
Will be cool. Done made it.
Hey, Wilby. William, shall I say?
Oh. I'm just watching. All right, now here you have this one. I didn't bring all 3 of them because carrots is kind of gone for now. But if you want the carrot, we have a carrot.
We also have the English pea manual. That's me sitting in the garden with my English peas.
When they were little.
When they were little. That's over at Deep South Homestead. I show lots of things about the English peas. We got pages like showing building the trellis system, how we do that. Then showing them growing on the trellis systems, using what do they call? What is that stuff called? My eyes, I can't.
An inoculate.
Inoculating. I couldn't read that word.
Is the shell apple still alive? Yes, it is.
Yes, the shell apple is still alive, doing fantastic. But we inoculate all of our seeds and stuff like that so that we get a better stand.
Yeah, several people have ordered from George's. They're going to be a little busy. If they better have plenty of sweet potato slips ready. Oh.
Mr. Tater Man will be calling me saying, man, you better tell these people to slow down on me.
Well, Danny, do you cut the root off your slips? Root off your slips. I heard it keeps them from transferring any diseases from the host plant.
Joey, all I cut off is about a ½ an inch of the very bottom end of the sweet potato, because sometimes when you break your sweet potato slips off, you'll have a little bitty tiny piece of potato left on it there, and if you're going to get a disease, that's where it's going to come from. So I'll go up about ½ an inch and snip that off with a knife or a pair of scissors or whatever. Jay
Robinson wants to know how old the blueberry trees are that we showed in this video this week.
Oh, they are
around 8 years old.
I think they're 8 years old is what the homeowner told me.
Do you do the Farmer's Almanac when planting?
No, I do not use a Farmer's Almanac because I'll tell you why. The Farmer's Almanac was created in Maine. It's not really done for our area, to be honest with you. And with what the sun is doing right now in solar cycle 25, the Farmer's Almanac is pretty much useless. We're going into something that we haven't been in for like 600 years. So you can throw the Farmer's Almanac out the window as far as that goes. Now, I do still go by the moon as much as I can.
That's why he watches the moon.
I watch the moon. That's the reason I knew if I didn't order these sweet potato draws and have them express shipped here, I would not have them in on the waning of the moon like I need to, so that the below ground root crops would do better.
I know it's late, but I planted sweet potatoes last year in July and got a good harvest inside. You can still plant.
You can still, as long as you have 125 days of growing season, you can still grow them. And I mean, at 100 days, they'll still make.
Danny just wanted his in early, so we're through. When it gets that hot, we're about done.
There's something coming this year is why I'm pushing everything like I'm pushing. I didn't wait till Good Friday, because for me to wait till Good Friday will not work for us now, because there's something coming this summer that says we've got to have everything done before a certain time this summer.
Okay, I'm looking, how do I get rid of ants in a raised bed? That's Beverly Michael.
Beverly, I'm just going to be honest with you. In my raised bed, I just punch a hole down as deep as I can get in the middle of the ant bed, and I pour me a little bit of gas down in the bottom of it and close the hole up at the top, and when the fumes come up through the hole, it kills the ants, and it has not hurt my raised beds yet.
Yeah. I'm just waiting.
Birch Pine says, how do I get rid of moles, voles? They get my potatoes and sweet potatoes. Castor beans is one of the things, and now we have a mole trap. I think I showed that in a video, or did I? Yeah, I have a video showing a mole trap that I bought.
You just never caught one.
Yeah, I caught one.
You caught one?
I caught one.
Yeah, we haven't really had any since.
And I haven't had any more since then.
When's the next waning of the moon?
After the next full moon.
Will you tell us what's coming later as a tip?
I don't know if I can legally do it right now. That's the thing.
All right, so what else we got going on?
Let's see.
Most of
I planted my okra. Y'all saw my okra that I did a video showing planting my okra in a Hoss tool tray, 192 cell Hoss tool tray. And out of the 100, was it 162 or 192? I don't remember, but anyway, it's a lot.
196.
It's 196. I have planted my white okra. I have a row that is approximately 200 feet long of okra, and I'm going to guess on that row, out of the 196 in the thing, not all of them came up and did well. I probably have 100 to 125 okra plants out.
A lot. And before y'all say, what are you going to do with all that food? We have family and friends that we plan on sharing with, and if nothing else, the animals will eat a lot of it. We've got quite a few squash and stuff going, and
well, we have brother Chris. Chris raises a pig for us every year, and if for some reason we end up with a lot of extras and stuff that we can't use, or maybe this goes bad, we just put them in 5-gallon buckets, and when Chris comes over, he picks them up and he takes them back to the pigs and he feeds the pigs. It keeps the cost down. So, you know, that's another thing that we do.
Jenna Riley said she's so excited she grew bulb onions from seeds for the first time and just harvested 2 bulbs today.
Awesome.
Growing them from seed is the best.
That is the best growing them from seed. He
got behind this past year, but we got to do it because we had such a bad experience this year.
Yeah.
We're getting some though. Can you do a giveaway for the white okra one day? Do we have plenty of that, or I don't remember.
We don't have a lot of it, but if this year, if we harvest enough seeds this year, I might do some giveaways. Jay Robertson says, can you tell us the date or month without telling us what it is so we can be alert around that time? I'll just tell you this way, it'll be after July. Okay, I'll tell you that. It'll be after July. Some people will know about it and some won't. I mean, that's the thing about it. It'll affect some places and some places it won't.
All right. I was going to do a coffee giveaway. Does anybody want to try the espresso? It's one of my favorite coffees. I like all of them. I'm just going to say I've pretty much gotten used to drinking one or the other whenever I want to, just going back and forth. But the espresso probably is one of my favorite. And Danny's daughter and her aunt came today and visited, and I gave Jennifer some. She tried it.
Stop that.
Jennifer liked the espresso too, which she likes Coffee Crafters coffee.
Yeah. She actually drank some black today, and she really liked it black. She said it was
very good.
Very good, done in the espresso, very smooth. She really, really liked it. Okay, Evelyn says the next full moon will be May the 12th, which is, I got a candle fly coming around here. We opened the door a while ago. May the 12th, so you got 2 weeks. Is that right? 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Before the next full moon. And then it's going to be full for 2 or 3 days. So it'll be after that. So you're looking at about 14 to 18 days before we go back into the waning moon. Nope, hold on. Mudcat says, if you want to know what's coming, then just read the back of the book. Amen, bro. Amen. Don't believe me? Look what's going on with the Euphrates River and cross-reference the Bible. The Euphrates River is drying up, and if you do study the Bible, you will find out that there are some angels that's going to be released from under the, I believe it was 4 of them going to be released from under the Euphrates River, and these ain't no good ones, okay? These are not good angels, and they wreak havoc upon the face of the earth. Now, the Euphrates River is drying up because man is making it dry up. They are diverting the water. So, nevertheless, the Bible says if it dries up, it didn't say how.
All right, Melinda Lemon. Miss Lippy, can you write that down and send it to me in a little bit? Melinda Lemon, I will send you the espresso, and we will be giving away some more different things. Rebecca and I are talking about a couple of things for Mother's Day, so starting in May for 2 weeks, I will probably give away something for Mother's Day the first 2 weeks of May to 2 mothers for coffee. And if y'all would like to try Silver Run coffee, they've got it, the Monkey Food Garden's got their, and Miss Lippy have their link. The espresso is a very good, let me hit it here.
Hit it there, yeah. Watch
it
jump.
It jumped.
Yep. How's the trapper coming along? I'll keep watching for it. Well, I had to send them some extra pecan wood because they ran out of the pecan wood I had sent them. But they had about half of them or a little more done. Maybe.
So we probably should get them within a week to 2 weeks. Not 100% sure. I don't know how fast, and they may have other orders, but they should have gotten the wood this past week, sometime this week. I mean, first of the week.
I will say this: Designed to See says the cicadas don't bother crops, so guessing that's not it. There is going to be a massive cicada outbreak this year. You can look it up. I ain't gonna sit here and go into all the details of where it's at, but there is going to be a massive one this year. Let's see here.
All right, Melinda, send me an email at deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com with your address, and I'll get it to Rebecca. Jenna
see
Riley
here.
says, I got 0 Dark 30 a while back and loved it. Yes.
I will be buying some more, yeah.
Emily said, had aphids on my celery in the greenhouse, washed it off what I could, removed a bunch of plants, and released ladybugs. It helped.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of ladybugs.
Our ladybug population has really increased.
Jumped,
It has jumped.
And so we were really surprised, and we didn't add them.
No, we didn't put them in. They just
on their own.
God did. It's all I can say. They just showed up out of nowhere, and I mean,
they couldn't have handled the aphid.
You would have to have thousands more.
This was like fire ants on steroids.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were bad.
Exactly.
I think in 2 or 3 days, even with us spraying them, they multiplied tenfold.
Oh yeah.
It didn't matter what you did to them; they just kept going.
Okay.
My new Tennessee home said we were supposed to have cicadas last year and only saw 2. Yeah, sometimes they hype some things up.
The cicadas last year was in Illinois.
Yeah.
They were not. I don't think Tennessee was mentioned. I think it was Illinois, Indiana, Mississippi was one of them. We had 2 different types that came out in Mississippi last year. If y'all watched our videos last year, you could tell in the background how bad they were.
Monica wanted to know if you had an abundance of cherry tomatoes, what to do with them. You can cook the cherry tomatoes down just like you would any other tomatoes and make whatever you want to make out of them. You could use them for tomato juice, sauce, whatever you want. Can them. I did can some of the small cherry tomatoes before. You just drop them in hot water and let the skin slide off. It takes more work because they're so small.
Yeah.
But
now if you've got a chinoy, a quinoa, I'll get it right here in a minute.
We always said that wrong.
Yeah. If you have
politically incorrect.
We're politically incorrect. If you have a quinoa, you can throw those cherry tomatoes over in it, and you can sit there and run that thing around in there and literally
get the pulp
and the seeds out of it.
Catch it.
You can do that, and you get your tomato juice and some of the pulp in it, and it cooks out really fast that way. With cherry tomatoes, that's the only way I would do it. I would not sit there and try to skin all them little bitty tomatoes. You know, I just wouldn't.
It would be easier just to strain them.
Yeah.
Where are we at?
Let's see here.
Salsa. Salsa's a good one, yeah. That's what I do.
Okay, Nadia.
Where are the hummingbirds? We haven't seen any in upstate South Carolina.
We have them here. Every time I go down to the pond, they're down at the pond. Now I don't know if they're trying to nest down there. I mean, there's nothing down there to feed them with, but there is water.
Nadia wants to know what is a good electric grinder for grains. What was that one I got?
Nutri-Mill. Yeah, the Nutri-Mill has worked out really good.
In the description, I think, for the Nutri-Mill. I got the one that has the stones in it. But you don't have to buy the one with the stones. They have one that has what's the other one? Has the blades. What are the blades called?
I'm sitting there, my mind just went blank. I'm sitting here looking at Jeff Jackson's comment, and my mind went blank.
We get an A for politically.
We get an A+ for politically incorrectness.
I can't remember, but anyway, they have a white. Nutri-Mill has a white one that white or black that has blades in it.
It's called burrs, steel burrs.
Okay, and then I bought the one that
has stones.
Stones in it.
There's 2 different kinds. You got steel burrs and you got stones. Do not put coffee in the.
No, we're not talking about the coffee. I'm talking about grain mills.
Yeah, but your grain mills. Some people throw coffee in grain mills. I mean, I've seen them do it.
Don't put coffee in.
Don't put coffee in your grain mills.
Okay. What kind of stool did you talk about? I'm not sure.
Oh, it's
the one we had.
In the garden out there. Just go back and watch the video. There's a link in the description, or it's either in the comments. You'll find that little stool. You can either kneel down on it or you can sit down on it. It works either way.
All right. I put a link in that video to the little stool. It's on Amazon. I don't remember the company name. We've had it for several years. Thank you, Monica. They were yellow cherry tomatoes. I did the yellow cherry tomatoes and I put them in jars. It's just that they look different because you're not expecting your tomatoes to look yellow. But I did do some in jars, so you can do that. Can you make salsa with the tomato skins on?
I wouldn't do it. Yeah, trust me, I wouldn't do it.
Because they're going to come out in your salsa and you're going to get skins in it. I would definitely try to take them off.
Designed to See says, if you eat a lot of bananas, mosquitoes will seek you out, which is true. Also, taking B vitamins helps. Usually people who are attacked by mosquitoes are very low in niacin. Your body's usually, you have a niacin deficiency or vitamin D deficiency, either one of those, and they will hunt you down.
It says you can make salsa with skins on. I mean, you can.
You can. I don't prefer it, is what we're saying.
All right. Is everything from Azure okay to purchase? You have to watch and pay attention and check prices, but yes, so far,
as far as health-wise, everything we've checked out with Azure health-wise now has turned out to be okay. Now, price-wise, if you're one of those kind, it's going to be up and down. So
we pick up Azure Tuesday, and we're still in our Poplarville because the one in Wiggins did not meet the quota. So if we have people that are close to Wiggins, check out the Wiggins one on the site and help them build up because they have a high quota they got to meet to drop in Wiggins. And they didn't meet that quota at all. They didn't even come close.
Sheila Scott says, wonder how the chicken's doing. I was just wondering if y'all have any eggs to sell. We don't sell any of our eggs.
No, we've got kids and grandkids and people that come by. So we've been letting other people have them around. We don't even sell them. So what else? My brain's kind of...
Scanes girl, make sure I would have a test done before I started taking niacin and vitamin D because you don't want too much of either one in your body. They will block out other vitamins if you're overloaded with them.
Mosquitoes rarely bite me, I was told, because I love tomatoes. An old wives' tale, maybe. Tomatoes might help, I don't know.
I used to be a metal detector. That's the only reason I know about the niacin and stuff.
Detector.
I was. I mean, I did. I used a metal detector. I went around.
You used a metal. You weren't a metal detector.
Well, I used a metal detector. You know what I'm talking about. And I was noticing that mosquitoes wasn't biting me, and everybody else. There was a couple other guys out there. They was constantly just like swatting and doing this kind of stuff. And I said, man, what's the matter? They said, I'm getting eat up with mosquitoes everywhere I go. So I actually come home and done some research and found out that if you're low in niacin and vitamin D, then mosquitoes will attack you.
Yeah, we've not had too much mosquitoes yet, but we've had enough water, I guess, that we're having enough.
Mosquitoes are popping out here.
Yeah. Rebecca says, I don't peel tomatoes anymore for canning, too lazy. I pulse a few times in the Ninja, more like crushed tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as it breaks it up into smaller pieces, you don't notice it. But if you get those long pieces of skin in there, I just can't. Daniel dish them out. He's taking them out if he sees them.
K-Music 28 says, just watched your smokehouse video. My husband wants to make a smokehouse. I tell you what, if you do it, you will not regret it. I promise you.
Yeah, and we got to smoke some coffee. We have not had time to even go into that here lately, so we're going to get back into that when we kind of get some other things out of the way. It's not that we hadn't wanted to do it, we just don't have time.
Heidi Westgate says, what are the best chickens to get? It depends on what you want them for. If you want them for meat, then you want the Cornish cross. But if you're looking for egg layers, then we prefer the ISA browns. If you're looking for a dual purpose bird, then you probably want to get a heritage bird, something like a Dominecker or the I can't think of the what's the one we got. Heidi, what's the one we got from y'all? My mind just went blank again.
There's quite a few chickens that do good, that are decent layers.
Yeah. They're a really, really great.
We've had the Buff Orpingtons. We've had.
Now the Buff Orpingtons was a good.
They
laid good. Plus they were a good meat bird too. They got really big.
We've had the Rhode Island Reds. They tend to be a little mean at times. We had the Easter Eggers for a while.
Yep, we did.
What was I think the first ones we started out with were the black and, what were they called? Domineckers?
Domineckers, yeah. We did Domineckers.
They can be a little mean too.
Yeah, the Domineckers turned out to be quite rude, and they just pecked up the rooster, you know. 3D Homestead said, where do you get your egg cartons from? We just get them from people. People just give them to us. Delaware. Heidi said they were Delaware. The Delaware is a good heritage breed, large-bodied bird, just a real good chicken to get. Astrolorp is a good, yes, Astrolorp, the black Astrolorp. Actually, if you have a lot of problem with hawks, the black Astrolorps are really a good deterrent for hawks.
I don't know. Monkey Mama says Sagatus. I don't know how you say that. It's a good dual purpose. I don't know. We did the Buff Orpingtons for 2 or 3 years in a row. That's what we used.
Yeah.
And then we got to go into different ones. When we found the ISA Browns, I guess that's the ones that we like the best. And we've done those for several years now. About 4 or 5 years or more. Do you know what's going to happen to the Mississippi River?
If it don't quit raining up state, they're going to have to open the floodgates, and they're actually going to have to flood people out in Louisiana. I mean, I know that sounds cruel, but what they'll do is they'll flood the rural people out to save the city people. They got the big floodgates sitting there ready to open. As a matter of fact, they've done some tests on them the other day, and I hate it for a lot of these farms out there, but they'll open that levee up. They'll just let that water go and flood them places.
Yeah, I think they're trying not to.
They're trying not to.
Usually don't, but if the rain don't, I mean, they got to have some way to let it go somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, my eyes are going cross from looking at this chat today.
It's supposed to be 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Will adding gypsum to my garden interrupt my fertilizer uptake for the plants?
No, just make sure your pH don't go too high. That's the only thing.
I say brown chickens are hybrid.
They are a hybrid. They're a cross between a sex link and a Rhode Island Red. That's sad but true. Flooding causes so much damage. Yeah, it's terrible, but they'll do it to save the city, you know, and I don't know which is worse. They've built in so much land. Well, let's put it this way. A river has a floodplain on one side and it has a hill on the other side. Only one side of a river usually floods. And it's just terrible that they've built so much along the rivers, and they filled in so much land, and the swamps and the sloughs have all been filled in until the water's got to go somewhere. And with all the manufactured, let's just use the word manufactured weather, everything, the atmospheric rivers and everything is falling up in the central part of the United States, Mississippi River, Missouri River, all that kind of stuff coming down through here. It's gonna be bad.
3B says, how often do you rotate your chickens in and out?
Every 2 years.
Every 2 years we usually get new chickens, and probably sometime this year before the fall. We like to get them either in the early spring or in the late fall before it gets cold, so we don't have them in the heat of the summer or during the winter.
Raw Food
trying
Writer
to raise
says,
babies.
what is some of the healthiest crops we can grow? Blueberries. Now, if you're looking for forever crops, or if you're just looking for annual crops, now blueberries is a good forever crop. Sweet potatoes is probably your #1 crop for just like garden crops. You can grow things like, let's see here, garlic is a good forever crop. Because garlic is really good. It's an antibiotic in it.
We're not doctors.
We're not doctors. This is not doctor's information, for heaven's sakes, Lord, please don't let these people go nuts on me. But things like asparagus is another good all-purpose that lasts up to 30 years. Strawberries is another good one. Strawberries is good for people who have cancer.
Watch how you say that.
I said it was good for them. I said it was good for them. I didn't say it was going to cure anything. I said it's good for them. Hint, hint. Okay.
Yeah, y'all gotta watch how he says stuff. He gonna get us in trouble. What are some other plants? Any of your fruit trees?
Lots of people plant things like artichokes or Jerusalem artichokes. I don't care for those, but some people do. It's
onions.
Onions are not an annual crop. I mean,
No.
not a forever crop. They're an
But
annual.
our multiplying onions are.
Now the multiplying onions are a forever crop.
And then your
Walking
garlic chives.
Garlic chives, onion chives, these types of things are things that you probably could grow. Now I would say different fruit trees, but the problem is a lot of fruit trees get hit by diseases and they die out. The only reason I said blueberries is blueberries are loaded with anthocyanins, and anthocyanins are great antioxidants for the body. Just like sweet potatoes are great antioxidants for the body also. Plus they're loaded with vitamins, nutrients, especially manganese, potassium, beta carotene, all this kind of stuff's in them. You want to try to, keep as much of that kind of stuff. Carrots is another one that's really good to grow, loaded with beta carotene and vitamins. Get your vitamins naturally. Now, let me say this, for people who are taking vitamin A, the best way for vitamin A is not taking it through a vitamin. Vitamin A that's absorbed through the eyes from the sun is the healthiest way to get vitamin A in your body. And the problem is people are wearing sunshades all the time. They're wearing tinted glasses all the time. And all this kind of stuff is preventing the right rays going in your eyes from giving you the vitamin A that you need. Lots of people are inside all day, sitting behind a desk. They get up early in the morning, they get home late in the evening, they never even see the sun shining. And they wonder why their body's breaking down on them and not doing what it's supposed to do, is because you're not getting the vitamin A that you need to get through your eyes. Let's see here. Renee says, I'm learning the benefits of clean nicotine, thinking about growing tobacco. Yeah, lots of people think that tobacco causes cancer. It's not. The tobacco is not what causes the cancer. You take a cigarette, for instance. A cigarette has like 26 different chemicals that's in a cigarette, and everybody.
Why they put a filter on?
And you want to know why they put filters on them? Yeah. I mean, a lot of people want to know. Said the old people used to smoke cigarettes and cigars until they were in their 90s. Well, there's a reason for that, because
it kills the worms.
It kills the worms in your body. Plus, they're rolling a real tobacco leaf. It's not like it's been soaked or sprayed in anything. I mean, it's just real tobacco.
And it's good for your animals. If you
it's
had
a good
tobacco,
wormer.
It's a wonderful wormer for your animals.
It is a great wormer.
That's
but now,
why a lot of homesteads do grow it.
But now, be advised, if you're a tobacco user, stay away from tomato plants, because a lot of your tomato plants are not tobacco mosaic virus resistant. Now some of them are, but a lot of them are not, and people wonder why when they go to the store and they buy tomato plants at the store and they come home and then they die right after they got them because a virus hits them. Probably some smoker or dipper or whatever tobacco chewer was going through, had his hands all up in there, feeling around looking for the best plants, and spread the tobacco virus all into those plants. That's why you got to be, if you're going to buy tomato plants from a place, go all the way to the back of the stack, way back in the back. Where do you get your multiplying onions? I got them things probably 20-something years ago from Wigginsville, outside of
Knoxville.
no,
What's it? Knox paper?
That's down from Knox Paper, not Louisville, Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Philadelphia.
Williamsville's right outside of Philadelphia, Mississippi. I stopped through there one day when I was coming home, and I asked them, did they have any? And there's a elderly black gentleman there, and he said, no, sir. He said, we don't got none any good. He said, I got some old ones out here I'll give you, though. And he gave them to me. They all looked a little dried up. I brought them home, planted them,
And we still got them
and I
today.
still got them today. Praise the Lord.
Yeah, don't plant your tomatoes near your tobacco plants.
No. As a matter of fact, the same worm that eats tomatoes eats tobacco plants. It's the same worm. Plus, they're both nightshade plants, and they literally are not good next to each other. And did you know that a lot of the tobacco seeds that's grown and sold are grown and sold from right down here on South Mississippi along the coastline?
Yeah. How do you get rid of corns in the feet? I don't know. I don't have them.
We don't have corns on our feet, so I don't know. I mean, I can't honestly give you an answer for that.
Never had that.
Well, I can say this. My mother had one, and she bought a little round patch, and it had a little hole in the middle of it.
That's the old school. I don't know what.
And she put that over the corn, and I think, let me think here for a minute. She used something on it. She soaked it with something, and put a Band-Aid over it, and the corn went away. I don't know.
They don't make the stuff they had years ago that would cause that. I mean, I don't know what you do now.
I don't.
They used to have something out that would really help with that, but I don't think you can get it anymore. What is the yellow rust like rot on tomatoes?
I don't know. We've never had that mindless manpower. I can't. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know, but I really don't know.
Renata said she's got multiplying onions that's been in her family for nearly 100 years. The old ones are the best.
The old ones are the best. A lot of people get these, what are them kind of onions called, those new ones?
Nesting
onions.
Is it nesting?
Yeah, they call them nesting onions. They do okay, but not like the old-fashioned ones do. Vicky Savage says the Europeans were told that tobacco was strong medicine. Well, it'll clean you out. My daddy dipped snuff since he was 12 years old. He died at 86 years old, and he dipped snuff every day of his life. I mean, never hurt the man. Strong as an ox his whole life.
Link Day says he's growing Danny corn that he got back in 2020. The germination rate is still awesome. It's a great corn.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you.
I planted Danny corn that's 10 and 12 years old. I mean, it still grows.
Somebody says that it's some kind of acid, and Walgreens has the corn pads treatment.
I don't know.
That would help you.
I should have paid better attention to my mama, I reckon.
When you don't have stuff like that, you don't pay any attention. You kind of know they do stuff, but thank you, Ron, our prepper Arthur.
Giving a little support. Yes, sir. Thank you, Ron. Appreciate that.
Methylate and iodine. That's what I was thinking. I'm a prepper. That it was methylate or iodine, but I'm not.
My mama thought that methylate or mercurochrome or Dr. Tishner's was the answer to everything.
That and black drought and
castor oil, Pepto-Bismol. Look.
My daddy thought
and a good enema. My mama believed in all of it.
is the Alka-Seltzer.
Oh, the Alka-Seltzer, yeah.
My daddy believed in that. So.
Janet A says, my grandmother dipped snuff and she was 106 when she passed.
Yep.
I'm telling you, yep.
See, there's another. My grandpa chewed snuff and he's shy of 100 years birthday. See?
Well, I mean, it was the real deal back then. It wasn't everything.
It wasn't chemicals.
Wasn't chemically treated like it is now. That's the whole issue.
Yeah, because the stuff you're doing now is more chemically treated.
It really is more chemically treated.
All right. What do I do for aphids on my citrus trees in a greenhouse?
I don't know. I don't really know. I've never had aphids on my citrus trees. Thank the Lord above.
And we've got ours outside this year. They've been outside.
Oh, Renee brought up something there that I forgot about. She said the Appalachian great grandmother dipped snuff and used a sweet gum twig for a toothbrush. That's black gum is what my daddy said that they used for their teeth. And nobody ever brushed your teeth back then. He said you didn't have toothbrushes. You couldn't just go buy them. They would take a black gum twig and go cut it off of it and skin the bark back on it and take a hammer and crush the end of it. And they put that thing in their mouth and just sit there and chew around on it and rub around on it and everything.
Black salve and calamine lotion.
Oh, calamine lotion. I remember getting poison ivy. Mama would brush it down with calamine lotion.
Castor oil. A spoonful of sugar with castor oil poured on it.
Now, Ron Silver says cod liver oil was the worst. But now, I'll tell you what. When I was studying and researching cancer, I did over 10,000 hours worth of research into cancer. The countries, I'm just going to have to, I can't call countries because I don't know if I legally can, but the countries over in northern Europe, over that way, the kids that went to school got a teaspoon of cod liver oil every morning in the wintertime, and they never had kids that were sick. They said.
Well, see, my mom believed in if you had castor oil, she would give us castor oil before we started school, every year before we started school. When we came home for Christmas break, she'd give us some I think, during the Christmas break. And so she had her certain times that you took your castor oil and cleaned out. I mean, that was a going thing back in the day to clean the kids out so they wouldn't get sick.
Guys, I could sit here and tell y'all some old wives' tale that'd turn your stomach. I mean, but
we already 10 minutes after.
Oh gosh, time has flew. What happened?
Time's going.
Did the earth speed up or something? Man, time is.
You talk too much.
Man, but I love spending time with people here. It's great.
Oh,
yeah,
my goodness.
I got to tell one more thing. This may turn your stomach a little bit. I don't know, but this has been a proven fact. The old people used to say if you had athlete's feet when you got in the shower to pee on your feet, and it would get rid of the athlete's feet. Now,
you picked the wrong time to just pop in.
I have never done that. I have never had athlete's feet in my life.
No, me either. So
but I don't know if that's true. But I've heard the old people say that. So I don't know if I would do it, but. I mean, I guess if I had athlete's feet, I might would try.
Yeah.
But Monica Sherman says pee on them. That's what I'm saying. I mean, the old people said that. That's what they used to say. Danny, how do you inoculate your seeds? I've never done that. You buy the inoculant. You can buy it online through some of the seed companies, and you mix it with a little bit of water. You mix your seeds in a little bit of water, sprinkle the inoculant on them. Now, this is only for peas and beans and things like red clover and stuff like that. It's not for all your seeds.
See, several of them said they've heard that. One of them says that's your tip for tonight, huh?
Oh, that's a good tip. Yeah.
Yeah, now you don't have to think of something right quick. All right, so
okay.
Put your prayer request up, please.
Oh, yeah, we got to pray here. I didn't realize we was going so far over time.
I was trying to think. Danny and I both have eye appointments Monday, so y'all keep us
in your prayer.
I'm sitting here trying to make my eyes do what they need to do. So we're going both go see about the eyes. And
Tony says you can pee on a jellyfish sting and make it quit burning. Huh.
Things you never knew.
Well, I don't get that nasty gulp anymore, so I don't plan on getting stung by a jellyfish.
Wild turkey.
That is so true, wild turkey. That is so true. That is true.
Okay, we're going down a deep hole here right quick. We need to get back on track.
That reminds me of the
Oh, my
Cheech and
goodness.
Chong movie when he comes out with stuff all over his mustache because he's been looking for love in all the wrong places.
Yeah, the Vicks Vapor Rub. I know every year at around Christmas time, we'd always get kind of a cold and stuff. I can remember Mom putting that Vicks Vapor Rub.
Big salve on your
And
chest.
then we wore flannel gowns back then, and that flannel kept it warm. And you go crawl in that bed, and then we had an electric blanket, and the heat from all that, it would break up the junk. You go to coughing up your phlegm and stuff. So.
Okay.
And we had I don't remember the lady's name now. My husband.
We got a really good report from my daughter Jennifer today. Her father-in-law, Mr. Terry, had open heart surgery and come home and was out doing work and everything, and they had to make him stop. They told him, he said he was recovering as fast as a teenager would. And amen. See, God can answer prayers if people will just pray and believe. Now, you can't just pray. You got to pray and believe that what you're praying is going to work. If you believe it, then
Food Forest.
you know, then God will do things.
Miss Carolyn Food Forest is the one that lost her husband.
Yes.
Norway said, pray for the people in Mississippi they don't get flooded out.
Yes.
I have Vicks Vapor Rub for when we
Yes.
need it too. We keep that all the time. That and methylate.
Methylate.
No,
Mercurochrome.
no, the other like Vicks. Starts with M. Somebody knows what I'm talking about.
Oh.
It's in a green thing. It's mentholatum.
Mentholatum.
Is that it?
Sounds what it works for me.
I don't know. We got a lot of people asking for prayer. I'll get sleepy.
James Carter, taking cancer treatments. Please pray for them to work.
Mentholatum. That's
Yeah.
what I was trying to say. Thank you, Sienna.
Okay, let's go ahead and pray. We keep sitting here stalling. Father, we're so thankful and so blessed. You've given us a wonderful night tonight. Time has just flown by, and that's just because we just love the time we share with one another here, Father. It's good fellowship. You've told us in the scriptures, you said, forsake not the assembling of ourselves together, and everybody seems to think that just means church, and that's not necessarily true. The assembling of ourselves together is times like this where we learn from one another, we fellowship with one another. It's all about the fellowship with one another. And we can hold each other accountable this way. And thank you for times like this, Lord. And Father, so many people, I think about the ones tonight that lost a spouse. I've been there. I know what that feels like. I know the loneliness and the hurt and all the emotions that the body will go through, the 7 stages of grief that a person will go through. And I pray for them tonight, Father, that you'll fill that void in their life and help them to overcome whatever it is that seems to draw them down, and help them to be able to get back up and realize that their loved one is not gone forever. If they knew the Lord, then they'll get to meet him again one day, and praise the name of Christ for that. And Lord, we just are so thankful that you've been good to us and you've answered some prayers for us this week. Mr. Terry's up doing good. We thank you for that. And the people here tonight having cancer treatments, and people who have cancer, people who are cancer free. Lord, it's an evil disease that's hit our nation in the last 50 years and with a vengeance, and mostly because of the foods and the chemicals that we consume on a daily basis. And Father, we pray that you'll help us to get a grip on this, and that you'll put people in positions of leadership that will root out these things and help us to be able to find out where it's coming from and how to best eradicate it. We know that you've already blessed us with AI having cures already. It's just a matter of just getting them out there. So Father, we're thankful that you've blessed in that area. People are having marriage problems. People are having physical issues, emotional issues, financial issues. Father, all these different issues are coming out here tonight. People have been diligent enough to open up their request and make them known publicly. And Father, I'm praying tonight for all of these people that you will answer them openly and publicly and help them, Father, to be able to recover from whatever it is that's bringing them down, and realize that you came that we might have life and that we might have it abundant, Father. You never once wanted us to live a miserable, drug-down life. You wanted us to be healthy. You wanted us to be happy. You wanted us to be fruitful. You told us to multiply. You told us to have dominion over the earth. You told us to have all these things. And Lord, that is your will. And your will is for none to perish, Father, without coming to know you as your personal Savior. We know this because you've told us this in Scripture. But also, as we're living in these last days, Father, help us to be able to understand and to accept the simple fact that life is going to be a little bit different than what it's been in the past, and that you raised us up for a time like this. If we're alive during these days, then you've given us the power to overcome whatever the earth throws at us, or whatever mankind throws at us, whether it be disease, plague, war. You have created us to be above it all. And we ask these things in the name of our Savior, Yeshua the Christ, Father. Amen. Okay. I can pick my leg up here now.
I know, my legs are hurting.
Yeah. All right. Now, what you want to bet? They had a bunch of commercials during the prayer.
Somebody said, I can't believe they show a commercial while you're praying.
What did I tell you?
Yep.
It does not fail every time.
Miss Christine Beadle said something about her husband had a stroke on the job, and that's one of them that came to my canning class. We're now in Arkansas. I'm here with him. Scary time. This happened on Good Friday. Thanks for prayers. So Christine, yes, we will be remembering your husband. I had just seen that before it went to jumping. Okay, I think we're back.
Yeah. Everybody says, yes, sir, they did. They sure did. I got a commercial. See, they do it every time. That's the devil. The devil just wants to intervene and I don't know. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I'm not surprised. I am not surprised.
I can't quit yawning.
Okay.
Some had it and some didn't. So
I think say some had it, some didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a quick tip?
I have a quick tip.
If you sit here very long.
Well,
pee on your feet in the shower, I guess.
I guess pee on your feet in the shower. I don't know.
That's just too funny. I mean, really.
Keep your eyes on a few countries, guys. I want you to keep your eyes on a few countries. I want you to watch Saudi Arabia, and we've already told you to watch Syria. So, but do keep your eyes on Syria. There's some things going on in Syria right now. The new poster child for the world is going to be El Salvador. So you might want to pay attention to the country, a little small country down in Central America called El Salvador. There's some big, big things going on there that can affect the whole world. And I can't sit here and tell you about this tonight because it's not, they'll get on to me and take us down if I do. But you can do your own research, start looking it up. I think it may be out there. I don't know. I don't watch TV. They may have talked about it on TV. I don't know.
They don't talk about much on TV.
They don't tell you anything on TV that's true, but India and Pakistan's about to pop off. But I'm going to tell you, Saudi Arabia, Syria, El Salvador. Keep your eyes on those three. The three that y'all are talking about over there, India, Pakistan, China, Russia, Ukraine, all these places, those people are going to do what they're going to do. Plus, let me tell you this. We've had some very prominent people in the last year pass away. We've had Queen Elizabeth pass away. We've now had a Pope pass away. We've had several other hierarchies in the world pass away that were very prominent people. We've got a new...
now people stepping down too.
We got people stepping down. Klaus Schwab is stepping down. The guy coming behind him, they say, is even worse than he was. So there is a lot of things that is fixing to come to fruition, and it is not going to be good. Now, with me saying that, let me say this. If you're a born-again believer, then this is not meant for you. Please understand that. God will be your deliverer. Not to say you won't face anything, or not to say you won't go through anything, but it is not meant for you. And please, please, that's the one thing you have to keep in mind. Don't freak out when you start seeing something happen in Saudi Arabia. Don't freak out when you start seeing something happen in Syria. Well, we know that Damascus has to be completely annihilated. And the Bible tells us that only jackals or wild dogs will live there. And
you know that Israel has to be
trodden underfoot for 40 and 2 months. We know that. And for Israel to be trodden underfoot for 40 and 2 months, that means the United States has got to be out of the picture. So something has got to happen to the United States, or either we would be there to protect them. So I have a clue about what it probably will be, but I'm not going to say it on here because I don't want to get in trouble, you know, with YouTube or anything like that. And plus, it would just be my opinion. I don't want to just give opinions, but just keep that in mind. You know, when you read the Bible, you will realize that the United States is not there for Israel. Whenever all these nations come up against her, we're not there to protect her. What's the one? King Charles? King Charles is probably, he's not in the best of health. He's probably going to be one of the next ones that may leave the scene. So, and when they do, guys, you've got a new king, a new pope, and you've got a new leader of the World Health Organization, or WEF, World Economic Forum. You've got all these new people coming into power, and they don't have our best interest at heart. Let me say that. So just stock up, because you haven't seen the worst yet. As a matter of fact, they're talking about a beef shortage coming up. So you might want to be prepared. If you're a big beef lover, you might want to prepare for that also. They've already done the chicken.
Think about alternatives. Whatever you're used to eating, either have some way to get it, some way to grow it, or whatever. But think of the things that you and your family eat. If it's all coming from a grocery store, think about the prices going up even more, and how you can cut your meals to something different, change a little bit, or start feeding your family something as an alternative already where they're getting used to it, would be my thought. Mm-hmm. Because if you're used to feeding them like, I don't know, something with ground beef 4 nights a week, and the ground beef goes through the roof, you got to supplement with something else. So be thinking of what you can already start supplementing with in order to make the transition a little bit easier.